Hi, I'm Tyson with Adventure Rig, and right now we're up here in the Boundary Waters on a canoe trip. We've been up here for 5 days, and I have been so glad to bring along the Astral TR1 Junction. These have been the perfect shoe for up here. I feel like when they designed this shoe, they had this area in mind. The reason I think that they're perfect for up here is because Callie and I have been doing a lot of portaging, taking the canoe out of the water, throwing it on my shoulders, and then hiking on trails to the next lake and then putting it back in. So my feet have seen a lot of water mixed with some sand and rock, as well as some nasty, murky, muddy crud that was almost up to my knees. We were literally dragging the canoe over trees and under trees, bushwhacking through the forest. They've seen dry, sandy conditions out in Moab, Utah. Everything that I've thrown at these shoes, they have excelled at. Like many of the shoes in the Astral line, this is definitely geared towards water. There are a lot of features built into this shoe that thrive in the water environment. To start with, everything that's built into the shoe, from the thread to the insole to the fabric, is all made to get wet and dry out and not stink. Now, these ones in particular have a little bit of a funk to them, but I think that's because Callie and I were literally walking through some nasty swampy areas today, and I think that's the water that's still inside the shoe that smells a little bit. Definitely, they don't smell like my feet, and that's always a good thing because my feet stink. Also, on the exterior of the shoe, you can see that I have 2 outlets here, as well as 3 on the front and then 2 more on the side. So if you're filling these shoes with water, one thing we do is before getting in the canoe, I tip my foot forward, drains all the water out, and then I put it in the canoe and I'm not tracking all that water in there. So it's great to have these exit ports around the shoe to get all of that water back out. Some other great features about it, you can see that the toe box is a little bit wider, and this is gonna help with stability, which is really important and served a great purpose over the last 5 days, because on these portages, I have about a 50-pound pack on my back, as well as a canoe on my shoulders. I need all the stability I can get, especially when we're literally hopping around on rocks that have nothing but mud and swamp on the sides of them. These have given me all the stability that I need. Another thing that helps with that stability is the G15 rubber they're using. This is a softer compound so that it's really gonna stick, and I've noticed that even on this rock that's behind me, we've hiked through a lot of that where it's a little bit wet. These have still stuck really well to that rock. The only thing that I can't attest to yet, because I haven't had the amount of time in them, is how long this sole will last. There's nothing that tells me it's not gonna last a long time. However, when you get into a softer compound, usually it's a give and take, and you can give up a little bit of life. I see these lasting years down the road though. Something else that helps with the stability as well as the comfort is this insole. You can see that it does not have a lot of arch support. Usually I like a lot of arch support. In my ski boots, I always find it really nice to have custom insoles, so I wasn't really sure about these. This actually lends itself to having your foot sit really naturally. So basically, if your foot was just sitting on the ground, this insole is gonna mimic that really closely. And I found that there was no break-in, there was no uncomfortable wearing of the shoes. I mean, from the moment I put them on to bringing them out here, I've never been unhappy with them, and they're extremely comfortable. Something to note is the sizing. I usually wear a 10 or a 10.5. I got these in a size 10. Their website does state that they run true to size. However, for me personally, I'm not wearing socks with them, and I've found that the 10 is maybe just a little bit too large. I personally would step down to a 9.5. So it's something to take note. If you don't have the opportunity to try them on, maybe make sure that you can send them back if they don't fit properly. Again, I would personally size mine down a half a size. My only complaint with the shoe is that when you're getting in water where maybe it's really sandy or slightly rocky, sticks, that stuff can actually make its way down around the edges of the shoe as well as on the tongue of the shoe. And that will just sit there, as well as it can kind of collect on the insole of the shoe, and you can kind of feel it underneath your foot. When you're wearing a shoe, those items don't come out of the shoe nearly as easily as if you're wearing a sandal and you can just shake it around in the water. So I've probably put about 10 miles on these, and in those 10 miles, I've had to take them off, I think around 3 or 4 times to get maybe a rock or a stick that's made its way underneath my foot physically out of the shoe. So it hasn't been a big deal. Definitely something that I would trade any day to be able to wear a shoe, because some of this water that we've gotten in is freaking nasty, and I would not get in it with sandals on. So these have been a lifesaver. It's the only reason that I've been able to do some of these portages. Again, these are the Astral TR1 Junction, a shoe that you can wear on any adventure, be it on the land or in the lake. Thanks for watching. If you guys have any questions about these specific shoes, or maybe you're just wondering about the Boundary Waters, leave us a comment below and we'll get back to you. If you're wondering where we are, what we're up to, make sure to follow us, Instagram and Facebook @AdventureRig. Thanks again for watching, guys. I'm Tyson with Adventure Rig.